Years, all 2 nights, 2 days, 2 meals. Is your daughter or your granddaughter? You know, back then, are you still teaching?
I got somebody dragging my hand. Where's Kathy?
Kathy May.
There she comes. My sister, look at that.
How about the one everybody saw?
Look at that jacket. Don't you love it? I'm good. I'm already hugged. I know. And that sweet girl. Oh, you kept everybody. You kept the cable straight. No, this is Vicky. She was a McDonald's. She was a McDonald's. She's home tonight. Come. How are you? Very good. Good to see you. Hi.
How you doing? How you doing?
These girls right here set the road.
We would like to honor y'all.
Well, we must have all that on there because that's what was the shelter. I got When we weren't recruited, we didn't have to sign in. I think Coach Kate didn't have to call my daddy, and I think I got a letter, but I just wanted to apologize to all of y'all because if it was today, I would not be recruited. I did not have the skills. But this one, cowgirl, she I saw her picture on her horse, but that's what she put back. She'd lean in, she'd get the shoulder back, she'd have done it. But I watched her and I tried to learn. So anyway, I've been through a lot. I am so thankful for each and every one of y'all. I think
Come here, man. Come here, man.
Kathy was
I got
my
a story
first
right there.
birthday, and she has battled cancer for
I know.
wow. She's winning. She's winning this thing. God winning. Yes,
I got a story to tell of Mac. Mac, you know, was a pretty good basketball player at Mankachi, Mississippi.
Yeah, we never
And
won.
I went out to,
I got here and I'm saying, oh my,
I went out to talk to her about coming to Itawamba. And I run up on her dad and said, well, she's running tractors for mowing or
Bush hogging.
Bush hogging, what she was doing. She
I was
was
good at that.
Bush hogging thing. And I went out there and I talked to her. I said, you know, I want to talk to you a minute. She said, wait just a minute. Throw my stuff on the ground.
No. Hey, I have never had worms.
This one, I'm telling you, this one would put her head in a barrel for you, boy. I'm telling you, that old girl from East Central knocked her down so many times that we couldn't even keep up count well. You know?
He asked me to guard her, and that's what I was like the whole girl. That's the only time I did anything good. She had like 4 or 5 points. She'd been getting 30 a game. I'm thinking I'm gonna kill this girl. But the thing is, she's left-handed. That messes your brain cells up trying to go.
You got any eligibility left?
So,
Any eligibility left?
do I?
Yeah.
Can you play? Wait. I do here. It's gone. This stuff, they put me back together so many times. Humpty Dumpty, this part is shot. But I am very blessed to be here tonight. And I love every one of y'all. Thank you. But there's something. Y'all remember that time he slammed that ball down and it went almost to the top of that gymnasium? Y'all remember that? Yes. Oh, he was so mad at us. He made
If you walk, you
One
run down the
story
sideline.
I tell you, I always told the girls, if they ever got a technical, they'd be in trouble. But I got about one every game. And one I'd really think, we were in a national tournament.
Vincennes,
We was playing in Vincennes, Indiana, and we were playing Pace.
Texas.
And I'd gotten I got and we had 15 seconds to go. And I got a text. And we had the ball. But I wanted to tell you how this all happened. Meridian had girls basketball. East Central had, Holmes had basketball. But Itawamba didn't have basketball. So I went down to, I was dean of students in charge of student activities. And I went down and I told Dr. Benton, we need to have girls basketball. Well, he put me off. Said we'd have to hire a coach. We'd have to put me off. And that weekend, the state tournament was going on. And I went down to the state tournament. I saw, I think, Smithville was in it, and Hulka was in it, and some of the other schools were in it. And I told him we need to have girls basketball. And he finally decided, said, well, we can't afford a coach. I said, I'll coach it 2 years. And that's what I did. I coached it 2 years.
And our first year we did what? All right, state, region, and went to the national tournament.
I had good basketball. We had good girls. They played, and they played hard, and we practiced at the old black school in town, you know, on the hill. I think it's not the hill, that's too close in the hill. But they, you know, that's where we practiced. We had to get on the bus every morning, and we had every afternoon, and go to the school. And if it was raining, we had to put tubs out, work around it. Work around it. That's if it was raining. But we had, and it had bleachers, and that's how we got in shape. You had to run the bleachers. So we left every day. We run the bleachers. We run the top of the bleachers and back. Run the bleachers and back, and they'd cuss me under their breath. And so we had a good basketball team, and we had some people that could score. I was telling the girls a minute ago, was talking to them, we could compete offensively now. Come on. Offensively we can compete. What are you doing here? You didn't come in here. How did you get in here? I didn't see you come in. God. I didn't see you. But we could compete. I'm not sure we could compete defensively, but we could compete offensively. I didn't see you come in, girl. What are you doing all that hair
anyway? Coach Caples, just talk about how it feels to be here 50 years later.
You know, these girls, I was 34 years old when we started, and they were 18. And we put together from Nettleton to Chickasaw County, some from Lee County, some from Itawamba County, and put a pretty good basketball team together. We did not lose a game for 2 years. Not lose a regular junior college game for 2 years. We were in the first place in the get all these things together. We went to the national tournament. We won first ball game, lost 2, and got eliminated. Second year, these girls, same year. We lost the Cynthia Burks, and that hurt us bad. But we got a couple more girls, and we didn't lose another game until the north half. East Central beat us in the north half, and East Central beat us in the state championship. And that's the only 2 junior college games we lost for 2 years. And we had a great time. We rode an old bus, had an old bus. We rode that bus all over the country. We played up in Tennessee. We played in Alabama. We played played Ole Miss, beat Ole Miss twice, beat Mississippi State twice, beat Blue Mountain 3 or 4 times.
because they were close and we played them. We had a great season. These are good girls. These are great girls, and 3 or 4 of them have become coaches. And so we've had a good run.
So, just talking about, bringing the basketball program back to IJC and piecing together a team that ends up winning the state championship.
See, I was Dean of Students and Student Activities Director. I mean, it was me. That was it. And I talked to Dr. Benjamin, and we needed to do something for the women. We didn't have anything for women, and we needed to do something for the women. And so I talked to Dr. Benjamin about it. And he said we didn't have enough money to do it, and he put me off. And then we went to the state tournament, and I come back to Dr. Benjamin. I said, Dr. Benjamin, we just got to do it. Northeast has it. Holmes has it. East Mississippi has it. Meridian had it. We just need to do something for women. He said, okay, let me think about it. So we went to the board, and the board approved it, but they didn't approve any salary for a coach. He said, we don't have any money for a coach. I said, I'll coach it 2 years. And we got to start recruiting. So I started out with Bonnie McDonald. That was the first girl I talked to. She was on campus. She was a sophomore. Or she was a freshman. She was a sophomore when we played. And I started with her, and she helped me put people together. She was one of the ones that got Nancy Gray to come here. She got Mary Ann Winters to come here. I got Kathy Mack out of Manatee. Charlotte Jackson and Lisa Cagle came from Smithville. Cynthia Burks came from Nettleton. I got that from high school principal. Told me, I was just talking to the high school principal, and I said, what are we gonna, is he you got any players? She said, I got one. And Cynthia Burks, and I went and got Cynthia and talked to her. Cynthia, she come with us, and we didn't have 11 players. Didn't have 11 players, all we had, and we just had a good time. We won the first game at Meridian, and after we played Meridian, we had about 30 points or something like that. I said we're going to be okay. I didn't realize how competitive the junior college thing was, and didn't know how competitive we were. I had coached 4 years of high school at Woodland, Mississippi, and that's all the coaching I had done.
All right, Coach Gray, just talk about being back here, celebrating the 74-75 team 50 years later.
Well, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to see all these ladies back here. And Coach Porter was so gracious, brought her staff up here, and we were glad to tell them that we set the trail. That we were the team that started back at ICC in 1974 and started women's basketball at ICC, for the second time here after Title IX went into effect.
So just talking about restarting the program and getting players from scratch, you being one of those players, and that team ends up winning the state championship and going to the national tournament. Just talk about, the story behind that.
Well, North Mississippi has always been a hotbed for women's basketball. And during that period of time, it really was. You had people like Norris Ashley, Guy McDonald, Zane Hale, all those famous coaches, Ralph Bruce coaching. And so they were pouring into their program, but thereby pouring into ICC. So, we came here ready to step on the floor and play. We were athletes and we were ready to play. And it was indicative when we were able to win a state championship, a region championship, and went to the national tournament and got 7th place in the national tournament in Vincennes, Indiana.
If you had to pick one favorite memory from the 74-75 season, what would you go with?
Favorite memory? Oh, obviously, I guess just when we didn't even know how big we were at that time, but winning that state championship was just huge for us. We won it at the same time Hulka was playing a Grand Slam, and the celebrations kind of ran together, so it was just a big deal. Kind of like family. All of us absolutely were from North Mississippi, so it was just a family thing. We would leave almost every Friday and play Friday night, Saturday night, and come home Sunday. It was a different kind of schedule during that time. So, but winning that first championship with this group of girls was probably the highlight of our career.
And is there anything else else you like to add? Just other great memories from that season, or just friendships you've made?
Well, we all knew each other because we all played against each other, and we became really good friends. And I would just like to mention how great Coach Caples was for us. You know, he didn't really study to be a basketball coach. He was a great coach, but you know, they kind of just put him in that position, and he did a marvelous job, led us so well for 2 years, took care of us, you know, on the road. So Coach Caples gets all the gratification for putting this group together.
So just talk about celebrating the 74-75 state championship team, coming back 50 years later, and just reuniting with your former teammates and coaches.
First, I want to say I'm blessed to have even been on that team now. Would not have been recruited, not skill-wise. So it's just, when I got here, it was like I was in awe because I had grown up on a team that we had not won a lot of games in high school. And these girls were good. They started winning, and then I tried to learn from them. But coming back here, it's a special place. But my father graduated from the first graduating class. And when he and my mother died, then we made a scholarship in his name. So Itawamba has always been important to my family. I'm just from Manatee, just 15, 20 minutes away.
So talk about piecing together the team and winning a state championship and going to the national tournament. Just talk about, you know, the journey to that.
I just remember that we met Coach Caples. We weren't really recruited like signing today. We got here, we met everyone, and then we started practicing. He had intense practices, which it didn't bother me, and then these girls, I started looking around, they could play. And then we started playing games. The first game we went to Meridian, and we smoked Meridian. Some of them had never been, some of us on that bus, it was an old Greyhound bus that they had painted up for a travel bus. So we were in style. So we went and we started winning. And I started looking around and we kept winning. We won the North Half, we won the state, we won the regionals, and we got to travel to Vincennes, Indiana for nationals. And I mean, somebody from a small town that had never been on a winning team talking about, ooh wee, baby. It's an honor to be here, the facilities now. And all the girls, when it gets right down to it, it's always about the people. It's the relationships that you make, and those girls they were just awesome. Nancy was always intense, and she was our cheerleader. And then she got to come and play here afterward and do some of the same things that Coach Caples had. Nobody wanted us, and he wanted to have a team. So we were wanted. That's nice. That's a good feeling. And now y'all wanted us to have here to be honored after 50 years. I'm proud I'm still walking around. Yeah.
So, of course, winning the state championship was the highlight of the season. But do you have a personal favorite memory from that season?
No.
Just the whole season?
Just winning, man. Never been on a team that had. I mean, Nancy came from Huck. They always won. They'd won state championships. To be honest, we'd won 3 games in 4 years. 3 games in 4 years. So I'm looking around. I mean, we're winning. That TCB taking care of business, those girls were taking care of business. I was along for the ride. I should have been a manager. I got to play some. I watched Bonnie McDonald from Hucka. She was a point guard, and she could move her feet. She'd get her shoulders by that person. I learned basketball. I learned some skills. So I mean, it's just, that's what I remember. I remember the practices. I remember the girls. All of them were good girls. They didn't talk ugly. They were just good Christian girls from all over this area. And I mean, watch and learn. That's what I did.
All righty, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.